really nice, Steve. I'm impressed with what you did here.
Oh, it is nice. I didn't do it.
Well, you didn't. Then who did? Was it Chad?
No
Chad,
way.
did you do this?
Bourbon Fairies.
Oh, had to be Bourbon
Yep.
Fairies. Yep, of course. It's happy hour somewhere, so welcome to Drinking Dusties, where we get to pop the cork on some amazing old bottles to taste what's left inside.
And uncover the amazing stories that went into these dusty old bottles.
That is my favorite part. Well, except for the drinking. The drinking is my favorite.
Absolutely.
Part, so.
My name is Steve Russell.
And I am Charles Cox. We both covered bourbon for many different places, and we are here to talk to you guys about this stuff.
Absolutely. But right up front, let's tell them what they need to do.
Oh, yes. So you guys, we really would love for you to subscribe to our channel. It don't cost nothing, absolutely free. And then you get every episode when it comes out each week right in your feed. Also, you can follow us on social on the Book of Faces and the Spirograph Instagram thing.
If you're into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but most importantly, you can also support us on Patreon. Be one of our patrons, and we will bribe you to do it by giving you.
What happens to our Patreons?
Well, we send them a sample of each dusty bourbon we get to try. So because we started these episodes before we had patrons, we've got a little backlog to get out there. But this one, which is from our first ever episode, the I.W. Harper 1960, 5 years old.
Good stuff.
It was so good. And this is going out to Chuck Wenzel. Chuck Wenzel, thank you for supporting us on Patreon. You rock. And now you get to drink some of this dusty bourbon with us. So thank you.
A little happy.
Little happy in the mail coming your way.
Absolutely. All right. So start out here, though.
Yeah, let me just lift.
No. Oh, no. I got a comedy bit I want to do.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
okay.
Anyway.
No. This is a good one. I like this.
Yeah.
Because...
So, you and I have spent some time on road trips when we're hunting, that kind of stuff, just like riffing on what would you name your bourbon? That kind of thing.
We have a lot of great ideas. Right. We also have a lot of horrible ideas.
Exactly. So we decided to cover both those things.
Okay.
So,
and we're throwing these in so you guys can take these names and use them. They're not copyrighted at all.
Except for the first one.
The first
I do lay claim to.
Well,
this is on the good list.
Yeah, so Steve has tried to actually sell this to several major distillers, trying to convince them to put out his own special bourbon. He knows nothing about making bourbon, does not actually have any bourbon to sell, but he has a name that he wants on the bottle, which is Old Frat Bastard.
It's perfect.
I think that would actually sell pretty well.
I think that's fantastic. Anyway, I'll come. The rest of you guys, I'll be convincing you soon. All right. So, bad bourbon name.
Okay. Yep.
First one, Pappy Van Tinkle.
I love that one. I don't think there's any copyright infringement there. That's totally fine. Yeah,
not a problem.
Julian would not be mad at that at all.
You can be a whiskey and a parody.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So, in terms of good names,
yep.
Lake of Firewater.
Yep, absolutely. It's a biblical reference to the Lake of Fire.
Yep.
Gives you a little pushback to know when you've maybe gone too far. All right.
Yep. Okay.
Moving on. Bad bourbon name.
Okay.
Marky's Mark and the Funky Bunch. It's from the 90s.
Feel the vibration.
From the 90s.
That's garbage.
All right.
All right. In terms of good bourbon names, this one's just straightforward. Cumberland Gap.
Yeah.
Can't believe there's not a Cumberland Gap.
How's it not out there? That's like the area where Daniel Boone came through, opened up Kentucky to the people who moved down from Pennsylvania and Virginia and Maryland, all that. So how's that not a bourbon name?
It should be. It should be. Definitely.
So, bad bourbon name. I can't believe it's not bourbon.
Margarine.
Yeah.
Margarine in a bottle.
Absolutely.
Delicious. What could go wrong?
Yeah. Remember that tasting note. I think you're going to want to use that later.
Oh,
absolutely.
Tastes like yellow fat. All right. Good bourbon name. Bear Killer.
Again, how's it not out there already?
There's Bear Face. There's Bear Fight. There's not a Bear Killer. Somebody take it.
Here, take it.
Make it happen. Yep, because that's another good Daniel Boone reference. Yep.
Bad proposed bourbon name. Whistle Pig.
For reals?
Yeah. No.
It's actually quite tasty.
Okay. But anyway, bad name.
In terms of good bourbon names, this is my favorite, personal favorite, Middle-Aged Fitzgerald.
Exactly.
Everybody goes nuts for the old Fitzgerald, the very old Fitzgerald, the very, very old Fitzgerald. Yep. And now they have that 7-year.
And that's the bottle that should have gone on. If you're going to put out a 7-year-old old Fitzgerald, that should be Middle-Aged Fitzgerald. And I would have lined up to buy that. Absolutely.
We still will. Put it out. Okay.
Last bad bourbon name.
Okay.
Manson Family Special Reserve.
I can see a lot of stores choosing not to carry that one, but I'd buy it. I'd buy it.
Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. All right. Good stuff.
Okay.
All right. But that is not what we're here to talk about.
No, but there is a connection.
I would hope so. I would hope we didn't do that for nothing.
Because in the box of mystery today, what we got, maybe connection to at least weird bourbon names and maybe a weird story, we got...
What?
We got another box. That's what's wrong.
Yeah, there's a box inside a box. This is like all the Christmas gifts I give my kids.
Mystery inside of mystery, people.
Yeah, okay. King.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and unbox the box. In the box.
What?
Yep. Keep trying.
What's in the box?
Keep in the box. Keep trying.
Okay. King Kama. I'm butchering this poor man's name.
Kamehamela. After trying 50 times.
Okay.
King Kamehamela.
Kamehamela. How about we just call him King K? Because I'm sure we're doing it wrong.
Let's do that.
King K.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. So there you go.
Okay. So this is Hawaii.
Yep.
I've never had Hawaiian bourbon.
Yeah. And you won't have it today either.
Oh, we're not going to open it?
No, we are, but this is not. So as you and I both
It
found.
says Hawaii.
Yep.
It says Hawaii.
It
says
say
Hawaii.
It says King Kahama, okay?
Yeah.
In Hawaii. And
Okay.
you will find people online who refer to this as, and you will find it on people who are selling it and refer to it as Hawaiian bourbon. But turn the bottle this way. Bourbon State of Kentucky.
Okay, yeah, distilled in Kentucky.
Turn the bottle
there.
this way. Kentucky Sour Mash Bourbon.
Okay, so
look at the bottom, Bardstown, Kentucky.
But Hawaii.
Yeah. All right, so what this is...
What's going on here?
What this is a 2003 bottle.
Okay.
Heaven Hill produced bourbon.
Where does it say that?
It does not.
Okay.
But we know it's Heaven Hill
it looks just like it.
Because it's just like other Japanese export bottles. This was a Japanese export bottle.
Okay.
Why a Hawaiian themed bourbon was being exported to Japan? There are historical connections there, obviously. Right. I don't know if there was some kind of Hawaiian craze going on in Japan at the time. I don't know why they aimed this at Japanese market.
Hawaii, yeah.
But anyway, that's what's going on. But during that same era, Heaven Hill was exporting lots of other bottles to Japan.
Okay.
That looked exactly like this. Some of the more notable ones would include Virgin Bourbon.
Okay.
Which has had 10 and 15-year expressions. Yellow Rose of Texas, again, accessing that Americana thing, although I don't know if they're trying to do the same thing with this one. And then Anderson Club is one of the better known ones, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's really well known. We just had it a couple days ago in Louisville.
Right, but what we had in Louisville at Neat Bourbon.
Yeah, that was a great bar.
Great selection.
Yeah.
We had a 1964 Anderson Club, not made by Heaven Hill. It's when it was owned by...
Was that Wild Turkey?
I think so, because it's also been owned by Seagram's. But by the 90s and early 2000s, it was owned by Heaven Hill.
Also confusing.
Became one of their Japanese export bottles.
Okay.
And what's interesting is even though most of those bottles just use the literal name of the label as the distillery name as well.
Right.
Never had Heaven Hill on them. But this one says, instead of saying King K Distillery, it actually says it says Anderson Club Distillery. So they just borrowed that name for this bottle.
But Anderson Club was never a distillery.
Never a distillery, no.
Okay.
But again, the exact same bottle style. So like 100% confidence this is a Heaven Hill Japanese export bottle.
Why would they not just put Heaven Hill on it?
I don't know, man.
I mean, it also says they've been making the same bourbon since 1788.
Yeah, I did way too much research into that.
Same formula since 1788.
So 1788, by the way, King Kamehamela.
Oh yeah, tell us about him.
So he was the first ruler of a unified Hawaiian Islands through both political intrigue and good old-fashioned warfare. He took if you go to Hawaii now, you're talking about, I went to Maui, I went to this island.
Right, yeah.
So they were all separate little kingdoms.
So
kind of like the little place called the United Kingdom.
Got it. So he did that in 1788.
No. Yeah, I mean, he started in late 1700s through early 1800s.
Okay, so
nothing in the history I can find that specifically links that to 1788. Plus, what they're claiming on the bottle of 1788 is like that's when the formula for the whiskey
famous
comes
formula.
Right.
Since 1788.
Now, I did find out the town of Bardstown was founded in 1788. There's other. I was like, it's got to have something to do with Elijah Craig, because they always throw.
Well, because that's Heaven Hill,
right?
But their number they claim for him is 1789,
right? And
then they have the bottle that has 1783,
right? So I literally could not find anything else that really was 1788, except that's when Bardstown, which is where Heaven Hill is, was founded. So anyway, we're gonna let that slide. There's a lot of lies bigger than that in the whiskey industry, people.
That's true. But they're basically just saying that they're making it the way they made it back then.
So this was a Japanese export bottle, whereas the other bottles I think I mentioned were much older. Like even the Anderson Club was a 10 or 15-year expression during that time.
Right. There was also the 6-year later, right?
6 year earlier. Like the earlier Wild Turkey when we drank for 64 was a 6 year, which was fantastic.
Yep.
Anyway, so the 6 year thing brings up an interesting question, though. The next question about this bottle, because as you know, I'm a bit fixated on trying to find and try pre-fire Heaven Hill bottles.
Okay, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So
when was this?
This is 2003 bottle.
2003.
Right. So I'll tell you what. I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about the fire, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the math. Does that sound all right? So big event in the bourbon world that you still hear people refer to.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to read it off here. I'm going to put on my spectacles.
That's good.
All right.
Can I take a sniff while we're doing that?
You can take a sniff while we're doing that. What, are we going to break this now? You mean, are you saying it's time to...
No, we're not drinking it yet.
All right. Okay.
We're going to wait on that.
All right. Fine.
I'll let you go.
All right. Just let me go. All right. Little background. Afternoon of November 7th, 1996. Imagine you're in Bardstown, kind of a little out in the countryside.
Ooh.
Thunderstorms are rolling into Bardstown,
Danger.
complete with gusting winds and lightning. Lightning bad.
Lightning bad. Lightning can cause bad things.
Exactly. So it's possible a lightning strike was responsible for what happened next, but nobody knows for sure. As a matter of fact, Charles, what were you doing on that day?
In November '96,
Yeah.
I was in college in New Jersey. I wasn't anywhere near there.
Yeah, I'm not ruling you out as a
I
suspect.
was a one-armed man.
But anyway, regardless, the main rick house, warehouse number 1, on top of a hill, went up in flames. Luckily, everybody had kind of cleared out of there. Everybody was still there, kind of, made it out. So, that's a good part of the story. Fire bad. The other part of the story is not great. So when that main rick house on top of the hill went up in flames and collapsed, and we're talking exploding whiskey barrels, so that can do something to the structural integrity of the
flammable.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
So a flaming cascade of whiskey just flows down that hill, right, and torches 6 more rick houses.
So it was a flaming river of whiskey.
Yeah, and even set nearby Rowan's Creek on fire.
Wait, but Rowan's Creek is a whiskey made by Willett.
It is indeed. That it basically is a real creek, and it separates the property of Heaven Hill from Willett. So that's, there it was.
And so the fire went as far as to almost going over to Willett.
Yeah, there were people from Willett who were literally like watching it and wondering, like, is this going to get us too? Wow. Kind of thing. But, Willett is high on a hill, so I'm having a feeling that kind of helped him out a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So anyway, so the flames from this, you had seven warehouses, seven rick houses, and also it did hit the distillery itself.
The distillery too.
Yeah, not the bottling plant, but the distillery
Yeah.
itself. Right. The flames climbed 350 feet into the sky. Remember, it's windy too, so you had like this swirling, tornado of fire, basically.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, exactly. And the glow could be seen by a helicopter news crew from more than 20 miles away. 10 fire departments responded, but with a freaking...
Wait, in Bardstown?
Yeah, well, I'm assuming they
country?
came from
They had to come
way
from far
away.
away.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Well, they could see the fire.
Yeah, with a freaking whiskey inferno like that, they were forced to back off. It was just too hot. Right. By the time this fire burned out or was brought under control by the next morning, I want you to brace yourself.
No.
Okay.
No, don't say it.
90,000 barrels, 4 million gallons.
90,000 of these.
Yes. Yeah. An estimated 2% of the world's whiskey supply at that time.
2% of all the whiskey?
Even in 1996 dollars, $30 million worth of bourbon.
Wow. That actually sounds like an underestimate.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Right. Crazy, huh?
Oh, man.
Yep. So that's 1996, November of 96, almost 1997. This bottle, and then so what happens after that, by the way, I'll just back up just a second, is that so their distillery burned. Now, they didn't burn all their warehouses, by the way. They still had aged bourbon aging in other rick houses.
Well, you said 6 rick houses plus the distillery.
Right. I think it was 7 rick houses total.
7 total.
Right. Plus the distillery. So they didn't have a place to make the whiskey anymore. Right. So in the distillery itself. So by 1999, as most people know who know the Heaven Hill story, they purchased a brand new gleaming Bernheim distillery in Louisville. I think they bought that from Diageo, I think. Correct me on that if you're wrong, and if I'm wrong in comments or whatever.
I like how you said that. Correct me if you're wrong.
Correct me if you're wrong. So by 1999, they were able to switch their production, which they had until just recently when they opened their new distillery, the Heaven Hill Springs distillery back in Bardstown. Right. But by the way, they're still using both places. But anyway, all their production moved to Louisville since 1999 until now.
Wow. Okay.
So you do the math on this though, and this goes back to 97. Right. So,
Wait, okay. So, sorry, let's just line this out. So you said this was 2003.
Yep.
So it's bottled
in 6-year-old expression.
So it's barreled to age in 96.
Mm-hmm. 97
or 97. Yeah. Sorry, the fire was 96. Yeah. So fire in 96. This isn't pre-fire. Or is it?
I don't know. It is often referred to, including the listing from where I bought this. Should I say where I got it?
Yeah, go ahead. Where did you get it? First, how much?
$201.
That's actually great for a Dusty that you've almost never seen before.
Exactly.
That's pretty rare.
I actually got it from a Japanese-based website that does almost everything they do is repatriating the bottles that the American whiskey industry sent over there and in that era.
They've saved our bourbon industry.
So they send it back to you with a little bit of a bump.
Yeah, a little price increase, but so, 201 to get something from Japan, that's actually
and the great thing is the price was the price. There was no tax, no anything on it except for the price on the website. So I knew it was going to be, honestly, I thought it was a scam.
Wow.
So I tested it with one bottle, tested with a scam, and it took like 6 weeks to get it. Apparently it's set on a apparently made to LA very quickly and then sat there in customs for a long time.
And sad.
Like very sad.
Stop for
Very sad. So waited on best I can tell, it waited on a pallet in LA for like several weeks before it could clear customs and get to me. But otherwise, which I was deeply suspicious of, I was like, this is never going to happen. And then it just shows up at my door. So it ended up being a fairly painless process, except for having to wait a little bit. $200, $201, clean, no problem. I would order from them again, absolutely. This website, yeah. So the math again. So So where did their bourbon come from?
Yeah.
That they were putting into,
That's my question. So it wasn't
right.
It wasn't pre-fire.
Right.
We don't think.
So again, they had barrels that survived the fire.
Right.
But if they put something if they distilled something in 1987, supposedly this was, where did it come from? Well, this is not a big part of their story. They don't, because they totally own up to we moved production to Bernheim.
Right.
We've all,
but not until
1999. So there's a gap there, and best I can tell is like they were doing some of their new production through Jim Beam and maybe one or two other producers during that time.
Got it. Or to be fair, it could have been actually distilled. It could have been distilled pre-fire,
right,
and tanked,
right,
and not put in barrels yet.
Right.
So,
or again, it could just be fudged on the sticker because they didn't want to get an expression that had an age statement that was closer to some other ones. They wanted more distinction between those age expressions. And we're talking again, the fire was in November of '96,
so almost '97.
This is '97. Right. So is it pre-fire Heaven Hill, which, as you know, is something I'm kind of fixated on getting?
Right.
Don't know.
Or it could be Beam, or it could be another distiller, or it could be any of these things.
Could be any of those things. So the answer is I don't know. When I bought it, I was pretty sure it was Heaven. I was pretty sure it was pre-fire. Since I got that, I'm not so sure, but I'm interested in just checking.
So how can we solve this mystery?
I don't know that we can.
Can we?
So good night, folks.
Can we do some research?
We can do
some independent research.
We can do the best kind of research, Charles.
I like that idea. All right. Okay.
So are we ready to?
Yeah. Let me just.
So you're saying it's time to
drink that Dusty.
All right.
Well, first, we're going to smell that Dusty.
Let's smell it. All right. Here we go.
All right. Ooh. All right. Screw top.
Screw top.
Now, some people poo-poo the screw top, especially if it's plastic, but it actually preserves these things a lot better than the corks do. So I'm not going to complain about that. Do you want me to pour?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right.
I did the hard work. I opened it up, which, by the way, hasn't gotten less painful because I can never open that bottle of bourbon for the first time again.
I almost knocked that over.
Okay.
So King K.
Yeah, King K. All right. So while we let it breathe a little bit, and while Charles sticks his big nose in it to find out what bourbon tastes like, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on.
Smell that. That smells so good. Before you start.
Okay.
And then I'll just keep sniffing while you.
Oh, that does smell good.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's fairly light color. It's like a light copper.
I expected some ethanol. It first comes out of it because we're going to let it breathe now. It doesn't have the ethanol. Mm-hmm. Don't drink it yet.
I'm not going to drink it yet. I just wanted to smell it again. You told me to smell it. All right, but so while we let it breathe a little bit, I am going to go do a little, as we do, tell you kind of like take a little trip back in time and what was going on when this bottle was created. So 2003, people, 2003.
Right.
All right, random events.
Okay.
The Space Shuttle Columbia blows up on reentry over Texas.
Yeah, that was bad.
In better news, Saddam Hussein is pulled from his hidey hole in Iraq.
Maybe he had a bottle with him.
Maybe, and I doubt it. The last classic VW Beetle rolls off the assembly line.
In Mexico,
Probably so,
yeah.
Yep. MySpace is launched.
Tom.
Right.
We miss you, buddy.
Yeah. And a random blackout takes out power for 55 million people in the Northeast United States and Canada.
Including both of us in Manhattan.
Both of us
stuck at work.
Living in Manhattan. Anyway, and also, not to leave on that note, Ugg boots are a big thing. Yeah.
Thanks for ending on that.
I always obviously like the fashion trend.
And you love wearing your Uggs.
I'm wearing them right now.
So comfy.
Yeah. In movies, head to your local multiplex, and you might have to choose between Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King,
great movie,
Finding Nemo, and Kill Bill Volume 1.
That was Tarantino's most overrated film.
I love that movie, by the way.
All right, well, I'm watching Lord of the Rings.
TV, CSI, the original CSI, is the #1 show, and the penultimate season of Friends is still big.
All right, that's fun.
But reality TV is taking over with American Idol, Survival, and The Apprentice all in the top 10 at that time. So the reality TV is really coming on. Let's talk about music.
Okay,
the #1 song is Outkast. Absolutely amazing. Hey Ya. That's
Shake
the
it
year.
like a Polaroid picture. Love that song.
I mean, the video too is classic. If you've never seen
Atlanta.
it, do yourself a favor, right? And other big hits
Mhm.
include Beyonce's Crazy in Love.
Jay-Z, nice.
Yep. And the White Stripes' Seven Nation Army, which would almost immediately be appropriated by every college marching band in the country.
My kid's high school
Yep.
marching band too. That's a great song.
Absolutely.
Love that song. Yep.
But just because we're doing this Japanese export bottle, and throw in a couple of Japan notes here.
Okay.
Tokyo Disneyland celebrates its 20th anniversary.
Okay.
The last wild crested ibis in Japan dies.
Oh man, that's bad.
Pick up the mood a little bit. 10,000 Japanese men's heads explode when Britney Spears and Madonna kiss on the MTV Video Music Awards.
That was an amazing moment. What does that have to do with Japan?
Nothing.
Because I think men's heads exploded everywhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I think maybe Japanese men's
maybe
heads exploded
could have been.
You know?
All right.
So anyway, so that's what's
those
going.
are all good notes from
That's what was going
2003.
down. Absolutely.
But does that mean we can finally try this?
That means we can finally try this
Okay,
one.
but breathe it in again, because it didn't need to open up at all. This was ready to go straight out of the bottle.
I want to drink it.
Okay.
Wow.
I hate to be, we always joke about people who say, "Oh, it's smooth," whatever. But this is there's no burn,
smooth.
no burn at all. I mean, it is 86 proof, and we've been drinking some higher proof stuff, so
that's true.
But even for an 86, that's incredibly smooth. It's sweet, but not caramel. It's not a deep sweetness. It's more like a brown sugar, honey.
Yeah, I feel like I get honey for sure. Yeah, honey for real.
Definitely get a little like orange peel, orange zest.
All right, so I don't think it's Jim Beam.
It definitely doesn't taste like. So Jim Beam, you often get that nuttiness, right? Peanut. This maybe has some hazelnut, but not peanut.
That's so good.
Yeah, that's excellent.
So I was gonna.
You were gonna say it tastes like bourbon. I know.
Absolutely, but it's definitely unique.
Yeah,
definitely.
So we always say we drink it neat to start. We don't put anything in it because we want to get what it's supposed to taste like, and then we add stuff if we want. We would not recommend or I wouldn't.
I have my ice back here. I was going to throw a cube in it. That's what I usually do next. I'm not going to do it. You can just drink this right out of the bottle.
Yeah, that's really great.
It's really
right
great.
out of the bottle. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We should do one episode.
But hey, for $200, for a Dusty.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, you're not getting a Cecil Weller product here. You're not getting.
No, and we say Dusty. I mean, as you said, this is 2003,
which I think
this isn't 1960s. But you're right.
It's over 20 years old. It's got
not
a
available
backstory.
anymore.
It's not available anymore. You're never going to buy. Well, I was going to say more Pre-Fire Heaven Hill, but I don't know if it's Pre-Fire Heaven Hill.
Well, now that we've tasted it, let's take a second and think about that. It definitely could be.
It definitely could be.
It doesn't taste like Jim Beam.
It's we're not going to answer that question, but it doesn't taste like who I understand was doing their major production for them in between the Heaven Hill and Bernheim, just production runs. So it lends credence to the idea that it was being done somewhere else and by somebody who knew how to make some damn fine bourbon.
Yeah. I would love for somebody who worked at Heaven Hill back then to tell us what this is from. Because of course we've asked them, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't know." They don't like to talk about these tiny little spin-off labels very much, which is surprising because this is fascinating. This is fascinating. Oh, you like your? I do. You like those legs?
I'm like ZZ Top.
This whiskey has legs. Knows how to use them.
It's good. That's really good. Wow, I'm really happy about this bottle now. I don't know what the heck it is.
Hey, here's to King K.
Here's to King K. Thank you.
Good for him. So, but this is Kentucky. Yeah. We know this is definitely Kentucky. King K. Right. It's still the connections still don't make any sense. Wait a minute.
The vibe is Hawaiian.
You know what? If you're on a tropical beach, enjoying the sunset, watching some surfers, we need some Don Ho music. Get Don Ho playing. Grass skirts.
Grab your ukulele.
Where's your grass skirt?
I'm wearing it below the knees, as I usually do.
It already dropped.
It already dropped.
Yeah. But if I had a ukulele.
I'm hearing the ukulele.
Yeah. Little Don Ho.
It's this. Maybe it is Hawaiian bourbon.
So yeah, I could drink this all night long.
Let's do it.
Absolutely. We're done for the day. It's after 5.
All right. It's time to wrap it up, people.
But this is great.
Yeah.
I highly recommend if you see that, because I've seen it before, but very rarely. Yeah. I've never tried it before. This is excellent, excellent stuff.
Yeah.
Love this.
I mean, it add it to your collection. It's going to turn some heads. It's one of those things where people are going to go like, what is that? But then honestly, if you do what we just did, they're going to be like, oh, I want to get one too.
Absolutely. So, and along with doing that, subscribe to our channel, Drinking Dusties. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Drinking Dusties. And most importantly, support us on Patreon so we can also send you, maybe even this one. Maybe
we will be sending out.
We'll be sending it to somebody.
A little happy of this.
Could that be you?
Yep.
Because that would be a great find to have in your collection to try with us. And
meanwhile,
let us know what you think.
As we say when we're heading out, keep it dusty.
Skull.
Cheers.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I can drink that all day long.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's
That's
dangerous.
the thing. That's the thing. 86 proof, so it's fine.
Milk